Hi guys. Hello. Hi all. So I'll just add Vaishnavi, just 1 second. Hi. Hi. Hi Vaishnavi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How are you? Good, thank you so much. So guys, this is Vaishnavi. She's from Andhati Rehab. She's a speech pathologist. Vaishnavi, can you introduce and tell me more about yourself?
Sure, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
அந்த மைக்
அந்த
நீங்க
மைக்
பாக்குறீங்களா?
நீங்க பாக்குறீங்களா?
எனக்கு எக்கோ இருக்கு.
எனக்கு எக்கோ இருக்கு. One minute.
யா யா யா.
Yeah.
தானா? யா.
How's it now?
இல்ல இப்பயும் எக்கோ இருக்கு.
எக்கோ இருக்கு.
யா யா யா.
இப்போ?
I will also put on the headphones maybe and try.
Yeah.
இப்போ ஓகேவா? Yeah. Now I'm not hearing anything. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can just introduce yourself and Andhati Rehab.
Sure. So I'm Vaishnavi. I'm a speech language pathologist. So Andhati Rehab is an online center where we treat from children to adults whoever have speech language disorders and also occupational therapy related disorders. So we are a team of 5 people. There are speech language pathologists and occupational therapists, and we are providing only online based consultation services. So because of this, we are able to reach patients all over India. So that's how it's been going. So
Yeah. So how long has it been since you established Andhati Rehab?
only after I completed masters. It's been like 5 months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And it's a team of 5
firstly, I did
doctors.
my therapists, 5 therapists.
Therapists. Okay.
Yes. So firstly, I
Yeah.
did the bachelor's, and then I worked for a year, and then I did masters. And towards the end of my masters, COVID happened, and then Andhati Rehab happened eventually.
And so if someone wants to contact you, how do they do it?
They
Do you have a
DM me on
website?
Instagram. They
Okay.
DM me on Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
in the description link, they'll have my WhatsApp's link. So that with that they'll contact me on WhatsApp. So
Okay.
that's about
WhatsApp
it.
or Instagram DM, we can contact you
Yes.
if anyone wants to contact you. Okay,
Definitely.
awesome. I had put up 2 stories for our audience to ask any questions related to speech and language development in their kids. And I've got quite a many questions that have come up. I've summarized a few and put it together. So I'll be asking you a few questions which have come up. And if anything
Definitely.
that I get here by our audience also, I'll be asking then and there.
Sure.
This is one of the areas that most of the parents are, paranoid about right from starting. Are they going to talk? What are they going to talk? Is it clear? So it's there as a parent for everyone. It's there. So there are many questions that has come up. First is, at what age should the baby start talking clear words, specifically like amma, appa, and the madri?
So by 1 year of age, the child will be able to talk 1 to 3 clear words. So one year to 1.3. So 1 year and 3 months. Between that age, the child will definitely be able to talk clear words. At least 1 to 3 true words. So what we call true words is not just blabbering amma, but intentionally looking and calling amma for amma. So that is what we call as true words. So,
Okay.
So the child might have, baby forms like they can call mammu for food or aam for food. But they'll be consistently calling, whenever they see food, they'll call aam or mammu. So that is also considered as true word only. even though it's, Malalai, and it's not the original word we use in the adult dictionary, adult language, but they are consistently using that specific word for that specific item or, person or object or anything. They're associating a word with an object consistently. So that consistency will be attained by 1 year and between 1 year to 1 year, 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So they have to talk, right? By that time.
Yes, definitely.
They have to, what they see and what they're talking should be the correct one.
Yes.
What they're relating to it should be consistent.
Consistently, yeah.
And if the baby doesn't talk clearly by 1 to 1.3, say one amma appa, ellaru amma nu koopududha, or doesn't specify, like you said, they're not specifically talking for that. So how do, like, until what time should the parent wait?
Okay.
So you said 1 to 1.3. What if the child is taking more than that?
Okay. So what I would suggest is waiting is definitely not an option. So just like how we go to a pediatrician and check if the height is right, weight is right, his growth is right or not. Just like that, we can do a screening at any age. So screening is checking whether what is the current language age of the child. That we can check when the child is 1 year, 1 year 2 months, 1 year 6 months, 7 months. At all ages, we can check. We can check and do the screening. So I would say, like you get a routine test done, you get your vaccinations done, you get your hearing testing done, you get everything done, right? So like that, speech and language should also be in that, protocol of list of tests should be done. So many hospitals don't have speech therapists, so they don't have this option. But in hospital setup where speech therapists are there, this screening setup is definitely there. So it will be part of the protocol. So just like you check for other things, height, weight, and nutrition content and everything, check whether the speech and language is appropriate for age or not. So there is no
it's better to do a screening.
Yeah. There's no need to wait for a particular time or anything. Just if we check, we'll be able to know what is there and what can be done, and quickly it can be resolved. When the child is below 2.5 years, the whatever we give, we generally counsel the parents, and we generally give a lot of parent training approaches and parent training methods to go forward with it when the child is 2 years or below, or 2.2 and below. So that itself will have a huge impact. Then children who are coming to us at 5 years and 6 years without any speech and without any stimulation, that it's like a huge waste of time and age.
Correct.
Getting a screening done can be very, very efficient and will help everybody in a long way.
Like you said, I think the most common problem that I see is all hospitals don't have this facility.
Yes. That's a big problem. Very few in number, one. Speech language pathologists are very few in number for a country like India. And secondly, finding speech language pathologists in rural areas is like close to impossible. So all the speech language pathologists who are here are also crowded in the metropolitan cities. And few are like they study here and they go abroad for higher studies and everything. So it's really impossible. So that's why teletherapy comes in play, and teletherapy plays a role in connecting to people across cities, districts, and states.
And first, initially when I checked internet, there were very few whom we can just actually properly connect. It's either through hospitals that you go, which is not possible at this right moment. And very few online as well.
Yes, true.
True. And the next question that we got is, how do we identify if there is a speech related issue from an early stage? Like few months or something, if the baby is in cooing, or that sounds, is that an alarm for us?
Yes. So definitely we'll have to be watching for cooing. So cooing must be there around 2 to 3 months, and babbling. So combination of vowels and consonants like ba 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 ga 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 da da da. All those sounds should have been attained by 6 to 7 months. So these are all like speech related milestones, and also a few overall pre-linguistic skills, we call it. So pre-linguistic skills like eye contact, attention, joint attention. So joint attention is something like when you're doing some gestures and pointing at somewhere, the child must look what is there.
Okay.
So in the direction of where you're pointing. So those kind of joint attention skills, and then shared enjoyment. Like when the child is enjoying something, the child will look at to the mother or father, whoever is near him, to see whether they are also enjoying the same thing he is enjoying. So these are all signs that he is, willing to be, willing to initiate communication, willing to initiate conversation. So these are all signs which will be attained before 1 year itself. So when these skills are there only, the child will be ready to talk. So talking is like a very complex and a little bit higher level of communication. So communication can be with simple gestures, eye contact, facial expressions. All these are communication. But talking in words and communicating is a little bit higher level, no? So when the child is not able to give facial expression or communicate using pointing and gestures, the child will definitely not be able to talk. So the child must be like intently communicating through gestures by like 10 to 11 months. They must point and show, I want this, I want that, I want to go out.
Okay.
So daddy is going, I want to go with him. Children start crying, no, at like 10 to 11 months, daddy is going, I want to go with them, I want to go on bike. All those gesturally, they'll have to communicate by 10 to 11 months. Then eventually they'll be able to talk by 1 year, 1.2.
Okay.
So all these are a set of skills which must be attained before 1 year itself.
Okay. And next thing is very, I haven't seen many people talk about it. Tongue tie.
Yeah.
I recently got to know about tongue tie when Dr. Pratula put up a post on it on Instagram.
Video. Yeah.
So yeah. So how do we identify tongue tie if it's there in an infant, and how do we deal with it?
So tongue tie is basically our lingual frenulum solvanga. So the tongue will be attached to the floor of the mouth. So there are various degrees to it. So whether the tongue is attached till the tip, or somewhere apart from the tip, or stuff like that. There are various degrees in severity. So two things we'll have to identify. Not all tongue ties must be treated surgically. Only if that child needs, we'll go for the surgical thing. Is also like very minor. It's a very simple and minor procedure. And as I said before, not all tongue tie definitely needs surgery. So at my own home, my sister, my father, mother, all of the three people have tongue tie.
Oh.
And they absolutely don't have any speech and feeding issues, and they're okay with it, and they are they haven't gone to any intervention until and unless I studied speech therapy. They would have even not known that they have a tongue tie. It's very common.
Oh. Okay.
It is very, very common. So only when it interferes with the feeding issues. So the child must be able to, clean his own oral apparatus. Like if something is stuck in the teeth, he must be able to put the tongue and take it out. Or when he must be able to lick it around and everything. No, if something is there on his lips or side of the mouth, he must be able to take it and lick it and everything. Right.
So it doesn't affect the speech, is it?
Yeah. So if the child is able to do all that, and if the child is able to produce all sounds of speech, then they need not go for any surgical intervention or anything, or speech therapy or anything. When the tongue tie severity is more, the child will be not able to produce t, d, s, sh, these kind of sounds. R. So my own sister, she can't produce r clearly. But she's not really bothered about it. She's not concerned about it. She's like, I'm cool. In whatever I'm able to pronounce, I'm able to convey whatever my
the message. Correct.
Yeah. So she's cool about it. We are all cool about it. So it just continues. When it bothers the person, when it bothers when the speech intelligibility is extremely low, that you cannot understand what the other person is saying, then definitely we'll have to intervene it, right? So when it doesn't bother, I don't think it should be a matter of worry. If the feeding and speech skills are appropriate,
if it's there. A mom has asked here for the same question. How do you identify for an infant if they have tongue tie? Big people we can understand when they start the pronunciation words. But how about an infant who's just born?
So you can just pull in the tongue and then make it move. So you can just catch hold of the tongue and make it move if they are able to, bring it to the tip of the mouth. If they are able to, protrude and elevate. Do all these actions. If they're able to do, then I don't think it will be a problem. If they're not able to do, and if they have like consistent feeding issues, then they'll have to get in touch with a pediatric surgeon or ENT surgeon or anybody. Yeah.
Okay. Because in some movie or something I saw, it was just a tongue tie that person couldn't speak, because of which the person couldn't speak. If we just had done the surgery earlier, the person could have, he could have had a proper speech. So I saw that, I was
so actually there are two different things. So speech is different from language. So if the child is able to produce sentences and is able to communicate, but is not able to produce instead of while speaking, then it's a speech disorder. For example, for the child to say "enakku thanni veno," the child might say "enakku tachi veno," something like this. Then this is a speech disorder. The child knows what to talk, but they are not able to pronounce the specific words because of the tongue tie. This is definitely because of the tongue tie. If the child is not at all speaking any words, then it's a language disorder. So when the child is not able to communicate anything at all in words, then it's a language disorder. So tongue tie will not be a hindrance to language development. The child is able to say at least few words. Those will not be intelligible, but they'll be definitely be able to say. Because of tongue tie, the child will not go mute, or the child will not, will not be able to talk anything. அந்த மாதிரி கிடையாது. The child will be able to talk with tongue tie also. But அது intelligible இருக்காது, புரியும்படி இருக்காது, அவ்வளவுதான்.
Okay, got it.
Because few parents ask, அவனுக்கு tongue tie resolve பண்ணிட்டா அவன் தானா பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிருவானா? So 3 வயசு குழந்தை இன்னும் பேசவே இல்ல, tongue tie மட்டும் எடுத்தா பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிருவானான்னு கேட்பாங்க. இல்ல tongue tie மட்டும் எடுத்தாலும் அவனுக்கு பேச முடியாது, பிகாஸ் அவனுக்கு வேர்ட்ஸே இல்ல, vocabularyயே இல்ல. So அதுக்காக அவனுக்கு கண்டிப்பா ஸ்பீச் தெரப்பி வேணும். சோ அவனுக்கு வந்து லாங்குவேஜ் டெவலப்மெண்டே நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொண்டு வந்துட்டு அதுக்கப்புறமா தான் வந்து அவனால பேச முடியும். So that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. And what are the alarming signs of speech delay?
Okay. So alarming signs would be
Yeah.
So for a brief moment I lost you. Okay. So the alarming signs would be no proper words until 1.6. So வார்த்தையே இன்னுமே பேசவே ஆரம்பிக்கல, 1.5 வயசு ஆகுது அப்படின்றது. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து ஐ கான்டாக்ட் சுத்தமா இல்ல. அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் என்ன சொன்னாலும் வந்து அவன் கேட்கவே மாட்டேங்கிறான். நோ நேம் கால் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ். நான் கூப்பிட்டுட்டே இருக்கேன், பட் ஆனா அவன் திரும்பவே மாட்டேங்கிறான். So these would be definitely the alarming signs. So 1.6 ஆச்சு, ஆனா இன்னும் பேசவே இல்ல. 2.2 ஆச்சுன்னா பேச ஆரம்பிக்கலன்னா கண்டிப்பா அவங்க ஸ்பீச் தெரபிஸ்ட் போய் பார்க்கணும். So 1.6 would be the maximum you can wait.
When you're saying they don't respond, children are sometimes playful. They don't respond to you when you call them. Purposefully, they don't do that. So, and like, how much should we keep monitoring them, like if they're listening to us or not?
என்ன சொல்றது, பிளேல வந்து அவங்க ரொம்ப இன்வால்வ்டா இருந்தாங்கன்னா கண்டிப்பா வந்து டக்குனு ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் வராது. பட் ஆனா வந்து ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் இருக்கும், ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் இல்லாமயே இருக்காது. சோ இப்போ வந்து அம்மா எங்கன்னு சம்டைம்ஸ் காணோம்னு தேடுறது, பிகாஸ் அம்மா would be the primary caregiver in most of our house settings, right? சோ வந்து ஒரு 1.5 வயசு குழந்தை எல்லாம் வந்து அம்மா எங்கேயாச்சும் இல்ல, இப்ப ஆபீஸே போயிருக்காங்கன்னா கூட தேடுவாங்க இல்லையா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 2 days எங்க அம்மா காணோம். பட் ஆனா அதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே தேடவே இல்ல. அவங்க வந்து யாரு இருந்தாலும் இல்லைனாலும் நான் இருக்கேன். சோ என்ன சொல்றது, ஒரு அட்டாச்மெண்ட், ஒரு பாண்டிங் இல்ல. அப்படின்னும் போதும் that is also an alarming sign. So எங்ககிட்ட வர risk of developing ASD children. So there is a risk category. So 2 years ஆகி 3 years ஆகி இன்னும் பேச ஆரம்பிக்கல. அதுக்கப்புறம் நிறைய ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் இருக்கு இல்லையா ASDக்கு. ஸோ அதுலலாம் if they fall under, we might potentially call it risk. They might have a risk for developing autism spectrum disorder in the future. So அவங்களாம் சொல்ற முக்காவாசி கம்ப்ளைண்ட் இதுதான். ஸோ யார் அம்மா யாரப்பானே அவனுக்கு தெரியாது. ஸோ நான் இல்லைன்னா கூட அவன் வந்து தேட மாட்டான், என்ன எதுவுமே பண்ண மாட்டான். ஸோ அவன் பாட்டுல இருப்பான். சோ எது க்ளோஸ் ஃபேமிலி சர்க்கிள்னே தெரியல, எது வந்து ஒரு என்ன சொல்றது பிரைமரி கேர் கிவர்ஸ் யாரு, செகண்டரி கேர் கிவர்ஸ் யாரு ஸ்ட்ரேஞ்சர்ஸ், இந்த டிஃபரன்சியேஷன் வந்து கண்டிப்பா 1 year குழந்தைக்கு ஒரு 1.5 years குழந்தைக்கு நல்லாவே தெரியும். சோ திஸ் இஸ் மை பிரைமரி கேர் கிவர், திஸ் இஸ் மை சேஃப் பிளேஸ், சோ இதுதான் அம்மா அப்பா, அது வந்து அவங்களால டெஃபினட்டா தெரியும். சோ அதுவே தெரியல, யார்கிட்ட ஓடி போய் சொல்லணும், இப்ப அடிபட்டு இருக்குன்னா யார்கிட்ட ஓடி போய் சொல்லணும். சோ அதெல்லாம் we'll have to keenly note. So whether he is searching for other people, other primary caregivers whom is responsible for. So அது டெஃபினட்டா பார்க்கணும். And the child must be able to communicate his needs verbally or non-verbally. டெஃபினட்டா அவனோட needs. So மம்மம் வேணும், தண்ணி வேணும், வெளியே போலாம், இந்த மாதிரி needs வந்து need based communication should have developed before 2 years கண்டிப்பா.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே
எனக்கு போதும் இது வேணாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது அதெல்லாம் வந்து டெஃபினட்டா வந்து 2 years குள்ள கண்டிப்பா வந்துரும்.
Yeah, one mom has asked if you can tell this in English because they don't follow Tamil.
Oh, sure. So need based communication should have emerged before 2 years. So saying mommy come here, mommy I want water. So not in like 3 words. The child would simply say want water, mommy water, mommy let's go, bye, let's go. Something like this. The child must be able to definitely communicate before 2 years.
Okay, is there something called like, the child has to tell 2 consecutive words by 2 age?
Yes.
Like
two word combinations. Yeah, 2 word combinations will definitely emerge by 2 years.
Okay, that so, they have to do like
mommy come, mommy come, mommy go, want water, want milk. So those 2 word combinations would have definitely emerged. So what we call the milestones, is important milestones to note is at 1 year, one word should have emerged. So between the time of 1 year to 1.6, so between the span, the child will be able to name all the people at the house. Mummy, daddy, tata, paati, papa, anna, akka, all these words. And then say a few, nouns like mammu, chachi, like milk, water, all those words would have emerged. Bye, all those words would have emerged. And from 1.6 to 2, the child will definitely start speaking 2 word combinations.
Okay.
So
and if the child doesn't word 2, if the child doesn't have this 2 words combination by the age of 2, should we definitely meet a speech pathologist?
Yes. So
we have to, right?
below 2 years, it won't be like speech therapy for the child. We would give a lot of strategies to the mother and equip the mother for a better mother-child interaction. For a quality mother-child interaction itself can make a huge difference in the child's language and language development. So the intervention will not be directly focused on the child. It will be focused on the parents. So the parents, if they do the follow-up and they get back to us in 3 to 4 months, the delay would have vanished by then.
Okay. That's nice. And here there's a 2.5-year-old communicates through actions. Okay, like I want that, I want this. All the communication is being done. I want to sleep, just showing actions and doesn't use proper words. Using only the first letters. As in to sleep, like just like that.
Okay, right. So I think this is definitely a concern because 2.5-year-old will be definitely be able to talk in 2 word combinations and will be able to start questioning and all. What is this? What is that? Who's that? All this questioning would have emerged. And all these, actions and saying part word is mostly like 1 to 1.6-year-old's language. So there is
pointing out. So 2.5,
1 year of delay already. So
Okay.
it's definitely advisable they meet a speech therapist immediately.
So it's better to meet.
Yes.
Yeah. And kid does not make eye contact with with the mom. He makes eye
Hmm.
contact with everyone else in the home. Doesn't make eye contact with the mother when the mother calls. And what is the reason for this? The mother is very much alarmed regarding this. The child looks at everyone else in the house. Doesn't talk to mom properly. Doesn't have eye contact with mother. Is there
Okay.
any specific reason
Uh,
for this?
this is very unique. Actually, I saw this question because if there is a skill, that skill must be generalized. Then only it's truly attained. For example, if I'm able to talk at home, I must be able to talk at school. I must be able to talk to my uncle when I go to the relative's place. Then only my speech is, generalized. I can talk everywhere. Everybody can understand my speech. Likewise, eye contact is also a skill. It's also a, pre-linguistic skill. So the eye contact must be generalized. We
Okay.
must probably look into the quality of time they are interacting, quality of time they are engaging with the child. So that can be looked into. But it's nothing like, with one specific person alone, the skill is not established, but he does it with everybody. I don't think it's possible. So,
Yeah.
we have to look into what is called as sustained eye contact. So sustained eye contact is when I'm having a conversation, for the whole conversation, you are looking at my eyes and I'm looking at yours, right? So
Correct.
that sustained eye contact must be there. Eye contact is not just looking at you and, fleeting like this. That is not eye
Mm-hmm.
contact. So we'll have to look if the child has sustained eye contact with everybody. And I don't think it will be inconsistent with only mother or only father. Nothing of that sort will be there. Yeah.
Okay, and if the parent has anything like that, I think they should meet a speech therapist, right? That's better to
Yeah.
rule out
So
anything.
what we'll do is we'll be able to say if this is a a problem, or if this is it's something which needs professional attention or not. But for intervention of better eye contact, better sitting behavior, better attention, concentration, and focus and all will be given by occupational therapists. We only
Okay.
deal with the language part. So,
Language. Huh.
reception and expression, comprehension and talking of language. That only we'll deal with. We'll be able to tell if the child needs professional attention or not. But the actual intervention will be given by occupational therapists for this issue, for the eye
Okay.
contact and sitting behavior and everything.
Okay, I'll inform this mother as well. She's very much concerned about the kid right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a 21-month-old kid doesn't use words ka, la, ra.
Okay.
How long should the parent wait till the kid
Right.
speaks these words?
So there are two things. So one is called phonological process. So phonological process is nothing but Malalai. So when the child is beginning to talk, when the child is beginning to explore language, it is very much possible that they'll have, not all times they'll be able to say all sounds. For example, for saying tanni, they'll be saying nanni, or for saying, all
They
those.
have their own language kinds. Yeah.
Yeah. So all these are very, very common among, 2 to 5 year olds or 2 to 3 year olds. But what we must be looking at is with the context, are we able to understand what the child is saying? So by 3 years, whatever the child is saying, even a stranger must be able to understand.
Okay.
With the context at least. It need not be sound by sound. Like if you're saying sir, or if you're saying r properly or not, sure properly or not, that is not a concern. The child must be able to speak whatever he wants to, say a rhyme or sing a song, or tell a small story. And the adult must be able to understand what he's saying by 3 years, definitely by 3 years.
So like clear communication.
Need not really pick into sounds and keep waiting for that sound to emerge, or that need not be a thing. They must be able to communicate in words, and people must be able to understand what they are saying by definitely by 3 years of age. And one more thing is, if the child has started speaking late, or if the child has a language delay in the beginning, a little bit of language delay, they'll definitely have all these phonological process, and they'll definitely have all these errors for a while, definitely. So we'll
Yeah.
keep working on the language part. So if the child is speaking in 2-word combinations, to build up into 3-word combinations. If the child is not able to understand what questions, we must work more on what is this, comment more, play with him a lot, introduce books with him, and focus on the language development. Focus on how much the child is speaking rather than what are the sounds the child is speaking. So focus more on the language development if the child is 3 years and below. So at 3 years, maybe we can start worrying about all the sounds and everything.
Okay. And since you said about this language, use of multiple languages in the home, will that affect the child's language development?
That will definitely not affect the child's language development. In fact, I have a video specifically on this topic.
Yeah. Correct. I've seen that. Yeah.
So what is more important is exposure. So if you're introducing Tamil and Telugu at home, you have to introduce, while playing with him, sometimes you have to play in Tamil using, Tamil words and everything. Sometimes you have to play in Telugu and then ask questions in Tamil, ask questions in Telugu. Simultaneously, if you do both, the child will be able to pick both languages. Even for a child with language delay or speech delay, you can definitely introduce 2 languages together. That is not an issue. What is concerned is exposure. How much you are exposing the child to the language. So the child must be listening to a lot of the words of the language, must be able to interact. That is very important. And you have to give opportunities for the child to interact back.
Okay.
So if you want the child to pick up Telugu, you have to ask questions in Telugu and then talk with him a lot in Telugu and then make him interact in Telugu. Right.
Yeah. Recently, see, in a few families, there is only one language that they speak, but they want to introduce English also to the child.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. They want that early development of the language for the child. So is it like deliberately at that time you have to ask like these questions you have to ask to the child? The parents, it doesn't come naturally, but just for the child to learn, the parents specify the words and Okay. Is that fine?
I always say keep it natural, keep it simple. So keep it natural. So however you want to talk to the child, talk. So if you're planning to introduce both the languages, talk in both the languages. So keep it natural. Romba conscious ah ipo edu pesnom appo edu pesnom. So every time ஏதாவது introduce பண்ணும்போது for example தண்ணி water அப்படினா introduce பண்ண வேண்டாம். ஒரு தடவை தண்ணி குடிக்கணுமா உனக்கு, ஓகே குடிச்சுக்கோ. நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் if you want to drink water, okay I'll get you water. So keep it natural. So அந்த மாதிரி deliberate ரெண்டு language அப்படி introduce பண்ணனும்.
I've seen many people do that deliberately, like okay இந்த language இது இந்த language இதுன்னு சொல்லி
so அந்த மாதிரி back to back அப்படி repetition பண்ணுவோம். அப்படினெல்லாம் ஒண்ணுமே அவசியம் இல்ல. Children will be able to talk as whatever is available in the environment. So the children are definitely keenly observing the conversation between the mother and the father, the mother and the grandmother, the father and the grandfather, father and the grandmother. All the conversation the child is exposed to, and all the conversation the child is also observing. So when the father talks in phone in English or the mother talks in phone in English, that also the child is observing. So eventually the child will get there. Definitely, if the environment has both languages, they'll definitely pick up. You'll have to expose them more, and you have to definitely, ask questions and asking him to comment and involve and give more opportunities to interact with both languages.
And there are many people who compare. Okay, like அந்த குழந்தை 15 monthsல பேசுது, என் குழந்தை பேசல. So is there some, and it's relating to gender as well. Boys speak late, girls speak early. And the concept, is that true? Like, do boys have a delay in speech?
Okay, yeah. So this is 2 questions. I like to answer one by one. So comparing children is definitely not okay, but we have to keep in par with the milestones. So அந்த குழந்தை இவ்வளவு சூப்பரா தெளிவா பேசுது, என் குழந்தை கொஞ்சம் தெளிவில்லாம பேசுது, அப்படி கம்பேர் பண்ண வேண்டாம். பட் பேசாமையே இருக்கு அப்படின்னும் போது மைல்ஸ்டோன்ஸே மீட் ஆகலன்னும் போது கண்டிப்பா ஆக்சுவலி while comparing only most parents come to us when they talk to us on phone or during our first consultation. That's what they say. என் அக்கா பொண்ணுக்கும் இதே ஏஜ் தான், அவ வந்து ரொம்ப சூப்பரா பேசுறான், அவன் என்ன இன்னும் பேசவே ஆரம்பிக்கல. So it is very quite natural, no? It's very human and very natural. So, but ஆனா every skill and every minute bits we cannot compare, because these are two different individuals, two different humans, and two different humans cannot be same. But we definitely have to follow up with the milestones. So milestones meet ஆகலன்னும் போது ஓகே, அந்த கம்பாரிசனோட வந்து அவங்க வரது, அது இட்ஸ் நேச்சுரல் தானே. சோ எதிர் வீட்டுல ஒரு குழந்தை இருக்கு, இதே வயசுல தான் பிறந்தது, பட் ஆனா அவன் நல்லா பேசுறான், இவன் இன்னும் பேச ஆரம்பிக்கலன்னும் போது நம்மளுக்கு அது ஸ்ட்ரைக் ஆகும்ல. ஓகே, நம்ம யாரையாவது போய் பார்க்கணும், யாருக்கையாவது கேட்கணும் இதை பத்தி அப்படின்னு தோன்றது நேச்சுரல் தான். பட் யா, ரொம்ப அந்த டைனி டைனி டீடைல்ஸ், இவன் மார்க் அவன் 80 வாங்குறான், இவன் 90 வாங்குறான், அப்படி எல்லாம். சோ அது வேண்டாம். பட் மைல்ஸ்டோன்ஸ் டெஃபினட்டா நம்ம பார்த்து தானே ஆகணும். சோ தட் வி ஹேவ் டு do only. And boys talk late is the complete myth. So complete myth. So adu pathiyum innoru video irukku enoda.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah, I've seen that. So, I just wanted to ask these questions to parents who don't understand Tamil, that's why. Yeah,
definitely. So boys talk late is a complete myth. They say stuff like, parents who come to us, they say stuff like, my husband also used to started talking late only, but he picked up, why would my son need therapy, or why would my son need intervention? So the answer to that is, a lot of life stage changes have happened meanwhile in the 30 years.
Correct.
So your husband would have been raised in a joint family setup where he's been exposed to a lot of language simulation. But your son might have a lot of screen time exposure on the other hand, and will not have many kids to talk with. No peer interaction is there. And no, in the nuclear family setup, not much people he'll be meeting, not much interactions he would have encountered. True. So these are totally two different worlds we are talking about, and that's why the child needs special attention and some, professional guidance. So that's what happens. Most parents who come to us are like, they would have gone to abroad, and then there they would have been in the nuclear setup, and the child would have been exposed to a lot of screen time, and then at 2 years, 3 years only, they would realize there is a speech and language delay, and stuff like that. And they'll come back to India, and then India la vandu inga vandone nalla avan pesa arambichitan appdi solluvaanga. So
exposure, like you said,
exposure definitely matters a lot. So yeah. So boys talk late is a complete myth. Boys will also should meet the similar milestones that of girls, and it might appear that they talk less, but they'll definitely be able to talk a few words. So so on the milestones are same. But ஆனா வந்து அவங்க வந்து ஓடி ஆடி விளையாடுறதுனால கொஞ்சம் கம்மியா பேசுவாங்களே தவிர பேசாமே இருக்க மாட்டாங்க டெஃபினட்டா.
And there are a few things like, parents say, my child sings songs, rhymes எல்லாம் பாடுறான் பேசுறான், ஆனா பேச மாட்டேங்கிறான், like doesn't talk in the home.
So rhymes பாடுறது, 1 2 3 ABCD சொல்றது, அதெல்லாம் வந்து rote memory அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். So rote memory is like me singing a Hindi song which I have no idea what it is about. So I hear it a couple of times, and I will be able to sing. Jane tu ya jane na, I'll be able to sing, but I have no idea what it is about. So that is the similar thing. So the child is able to pick up the rhymes, the tone, and will be able to sing rhymes. So A B C D and all, the child will be able to sing. But to be able to talk is to definitely have to know the meaning, right? So if I am talking, if I want to ask something, I must know the word, and I must use it appropriately when I want it. So that has a lot of value, and it involves two people. It involves waiting for the turn taking skills in speech, and then there is a lot more social interaction happening. But just singing song, it has nothing to do with it. It is just memory.
Okay.
Memory is totally different from language development.
Okay. So the child sings and does something like that doesn't mean the child doesn't have a speech delay or language problem, right?
No, if the child is able to sing and is not able to talk, is definitely a language delay.
Language delay.
The child is able to talk. Yeah, the child is able to talk.
Okay. Okay.
And understand
Like
our
the.
commands. Keep it there, give it to daddy, keep it under this,
Mm-hmm.
bring me
Mm-hmm.
that. All these commands the child must be able to understand, and then the child must be able to talk whatever he intends to. So that only is like true language development. Singing
Mm-hmm.
songs and counting numbers are plainly memory.
Okay. Okay. And how about screen time? Let's talk about screen time and its effects on speech delay.
So that is the biggest villain now. So
Yeah,
the
and this
modern
COVID
times
time,
biggest
yeah,
villain.
we have no other choice. Both the parents are working. If both are working, both will
Yeah,
be on screens, and child needs to be engaged. Child will be in some other, and definitely now online classes, which there's no other
yeah,
go.
yeah.
So how does it
So
all affect? Yeah.
So, I get questions like we do teletherapy, So, I also get questions like you say screen time is not okay, and then you're doing teletherapy. How does this work? So, so I would like to answer to that also. So, screen time does not, does not involve video conferencing. So, video chatting or video when the other person is talking with you. So, online classes are that way.
Like online classes.
So yeah, online classes are that way. The teacher will be there. The teacher will be questioning the child. The teacher will be teaching something. At least in one class, one or two child will be picked up. No, say this, say that. So children
Correct.
will definitely not be in full attention, but that of a classroom. But definitely half at least they'll be listening to it, and half at least they'll be paying attention. They know they have to attend, or else they'll be questioned about incomplete homeworks or something like that. So video chatting or video conferencing will not come under screen time. What is
Okay.
which screen time is built in is just watching, scrolling, and then videos, which has which doesn't demand any interaction from the child. Chumma simply playing videos, simply playing, like Candy Crush or games like that. That does not actually have any interaction. So Candy Crush லாம் வந்து I've seen a lot of children play. அவங்களுக்கு வந்து சும்மா அவங்க ரேண்டமா ஏதோ பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. அவங்க இன்டென்ஷனலா வந்து ஓகே இது நாலு அப்படி எல்லாம் பண்ண
Not because
மாட்டாங்க.
of the brain stimulation or anything, just like that.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
சும்மா எதெல்லாம் கலர்ஃபுல்லா அவங்களுக்கு பாப்பா ஆகுதோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து அப்படி பண்ணா அதுல ஒரு 4 வந்து கிளாஸ் ஆயிடும். ஓ கேண்டி கிரஷ் எல்லாம் விளையாடுறாங்க சூப்பர் சூப்பரா அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. பட் ஆனா அந்த பேட்டர்ன்ஸ் எல்லாம் பார்த்து ஒன்னும் அவன் ஸ்ட்ரைக் பண்ணல. அவன் சும்மா ரேண்டமா 10 ஸ்ட்ரைக் பண்ணலாம், அதுல 2 கிளிக் ஆயிடுது, அவ்வளவுதான். So so அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்கிரீன் டைம் மைண்ட்லெஸ்ஸா கேமிங், மைண்ட்லெஸ் ஸ்க்ராலிங் and watching a lot of YouTube videos. சும்மா நெக்ஸ்ட் அது வந்துட்டே இருக்கும் அந்த ஆட்டோ thing.
Yeah. Auto play.
So அதுல ஆட்டோ பிளேனால so that is definitely a villain. And எங்க கிட்ட வர எல்லா குழந்தைங்களுமே வந்து ஸ்கிரீன் டைம்னால தான் வராங்க இப்போ. The modern thing is that only every child who has a language delay has screen time history.
Okay, and what if the child is watching any videos or cartoons which has interaction? Say Dora.
But that also we wouldn't recommend it below 2 years. Definitely not below 2 years. Zero screen time below 2 years. 2 to 5 years can be like maximum up to 1 hour per day.
Okay,
So
maximum up to 1 hour.
Split, 1 hour split throughout the day. Not 1 hour at a stretch. So the child can watch 15 minutes in the morning and then 15 minutes in the afternoon.
Okay,
so something like that can be, it is acceptable, but not long hours of screen time exposure. That is definitely not recommended. And, previously you asked a question about boys talking late, no? So this is what happens. So they have this saying called, boys talk late and everything. So they don't even come for screening. They don't even assess the child's speech and language thing. So this is, as I said earlier, this is just a screening. We are just knowing where the child is. This is not to pinpoint, or this is not we are, like criticizing the child or something like that. So this is just like a regular health checkup. This is also knowing the speech and language development of the child. So definitely go for a screening. That is what I would recommend. If you have doubts, just do a screening. That's all. So the future must be like doubt இருந்தா தான் ஸ்கிரீனிங் போகணும், டவுட் இருந்தா தான் தெரபிஸ்ட் கிட்ட போகணும்னு இல்லாம எல்லாருக்குமே வந்து அது ரொட்டீனா இருந்துட்டாலே வந்து we'll be able to catch a lot of people at early stages and intervene them early and they'll be able to move ahead, very easily. So that
just
would
like
be the future.
so just like how they do for all other parts of screen, like hearing பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படியெல்லாம் they should just do for this one as well, right?
Speech also.
Speech as well. Speech
So
that would be from
boys
age
லேட்டா
1 year.
பேசுவாங்க அப்படின்றதுனாலே வந்து 3-4 வயசு வரைக்கும் கூட்டிட்டு வராமையா இருக்காங்க. சோ அதுக்குள்ளேயே லாங்குவேஜ் டிசார்டர் ரொம்பவே வந்து க்ரோ ஆயிடுது. So the delay is really high. So அதனால அந்த early interventionே எங்களால பண்ண முடியல. So early intervention is what I typically call is like 1.7 to 2.2, 2.3 தான் வந்து early intervention. அதுக்குள்ளேயே நம்ம புடிச்சிட்டோம்னா ஈஸியா நம்ம டெவலப்
பண்ணிக்கலாம். We can do something.
2.5 க்கு மேல போயிடுச்சுனாலே வந்து behavioral issues will start emerging. So imagine the child is not able to, the child has something, the child definitely has needs and wants, which the child is not able to communicate. The child will get frustrated. Self-injurious behavior will start. Tantrums will start. The child must be able to communicate something. No, I want to go to chuchu. I want to go to the bathroom. Something is itching. I fell down somewhere. The child will have 101 things to communicate. So yeah, if the child is not able to communicate and you're not able to understand what he's communicating in his thing, definitely next the lot of behavioral issues will start emerging, right? When we put him into school, then it's another thing. So other children, if they are able to communicate and he is not able to interact with them, so the other children will be like, okay, bye.
And the kid will be left out. Correct.
Out. So on the social isolation will start. That will trigger even more behavioral issues then. So school ku poga maten. Yeah. So school ku போகிறதுக்கே குழந்தைக்கு இஷ்டமே இருக்காது, because definitely வந்து the child is left out there, playல involve பண்ண முடியல. Other children are all talking, இந்த குழந்தையால பேச முடியல, friends make பண்ண முடியல. So those are all like really big issues. Recently actually நான் என்னோட நிறைய வீடியோல நான் என்ன பேசியிருப்பேன்னா, so speech language வந்து அவங்க பொறுமையா பேசுவாங்கன்னு நீங்க வெயிட் பண்றதுனால அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ரீடிங் ரைட்டிங்ல வந்து இஷ்யூஸ் வரலாம் அப்படின்றதுதான் வந்து இவ்வளவு நாள் நாங்க பாத்துட்டு இருந்தோம். Recently last weekend I read an article that was very, very heartbreaking for me as a therapist and as a professional actually. So in that article they have mentioned like speech and language delays or developmental language delay as we call it. So developmental language disorder இருக்க குழந்தைங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃபியூச்சர்ல வந்து லைக் anxiety issues வருது, or வந்து suicidal thoughts வருது, crime rates, crime பண்றவங்க எல்லாம் வந்து they have a history of language delay in the in childhood. A lot of people who are in prison, அவங்களோட லாங்குவேஜ் ஹிஸ்டரி எல்லாம் ப்ரோபின் பண்ணி பார்த்தா அவங்க ரொம்ப லேட்டா பேசியிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு எல்லாம் இருந்துச்சு. I was very, very shocked. I've never
what they couldn't express when they were small, that turns into something else
in the future. As actually எனக்கே ரொம்ப நியூ. நான் last week when I read, I was very afraid. Oh my god, this is really big than what we are all thinking right now. So it's always easier when it's treated early. So that's what I'm trying to say.
So but to be very frank with you, once for my son I felt okay. I'm very scared about such things. So I asked a pediatrician. I tried to search a speech therapist. I didn't meet you, or I didn't know about you at that time. I was searching for speech therapist all over internet. That's why I said there are very few with whom we can connect.
Very few.
I consulted a pediatrician. Pediatrician said the first thing is avoid screen time, like everything. Just avoid screen time, no screen time, and talk more to the child. Now he's talking well, but still my concern was that referring to a speech therapist at that time was not an option by a pediatrician. They asked to wait until 2.5, and only after that you go and check a speech therapist. That was my point over there.
So that is actually the sad state of our country. Most people don't know who is a speech therapist, what is the scope of practice, and சிட்டிஸ்லயே வந்து கொஞ்சம் இப்போ அவேர்னஸ் இருக்கு. பட் ரூரல் ஏரியால வந்து டெஃபினெட்லி இட்ஸ் அவுட் ஆஃப் கொஸ்டின். அவங்களுக்கு ஸ்பீச் தெரபினா என்னன்னே தெரியல. டாக்டர்ஸ்மே நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியல. So we are trying to bring in awareness, but yeah, there is a long way to go. This is actually a 50-year-old profession in our country. So 50 years இருக்கு, பட் இருந்தாலுமே நிறைய பேசப்படல. அதுக்காக நிறைய பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். பட் யா, let's hope for a better tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, these are the questions that I've got. I think I've covered all the questions now. So I just wanted to know how your Andadi rehab works, as in how do you screen a child? Do you have interaction with the child or only the parent in the first?
Yes. So the first point of contact will be DMing me, as I told before. So after they DM, we schedule for a phone appointment first. So they just talk to me on phone, where I explain about what all happens with the assessment. So the first thing is usually assessment, and the assessment time schedule பண்றதுக்காக தான் phone call. So குழந்தைய பார்க்காம குழந்தைய பத்தி நிறைய டீடைல்ஸ் கேட்காம வந்து எதுவுமே என்னால கன்க்ளூட் பண்ண முடியாது. So the assessment alone will go up to like 2 hours. So in the 2 hours, 2 hours மே நாங்க குழந்தைய பார்க்க மாட்டோம். The first 1 hour will be a lot of can we directly go to a speech therapist without referral?
Without a referral from pediatrician?
Yeah, sure, you can definitely go. If you have doubts, definitely you can meet a speech therapist. Yeah, it's always good to get it cleared. So our detailed assessment will go up to 2 hours. In the first initial 1 hour, we'll be collecting a lot history. So birth history எப்படி இருக்கு, அதுக்கப்புறம் each and every child's birth history is different. So birth history collect பண்றது, we'll understand what is the speech and language stimulation style is at home, what all he's exposed to, what are the language he's exposed to, how he's playing, what are the types what are the types of play he's currently doing. So play development is there. So on the play development where he is falling, இந்த மாதிரி இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்லாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேரண்ட் கிட்ட இருந்து கலெக்ட் பண்ணிப்போம். பேரண்ட் கிட்ட இருந்து கலெக்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா we see parent child interaction. So we just say நீங்க குழந்தையோட எப்பவுமே எப்படி விளையாடுவீங்களோ அந்த மாதிரி விளையாடுங்க, நாங்க பாக்குறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So அப்பவே வந்து ask questions and make him talk. We'll observe what he's talking and everything. So we'll be observing, and meanwhile we'll also give few comments. இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லுங்க, அவனை பண்ண வைங்க, நாங்க பாக்குறோம் அவன் எப்படி பண்றான்னு. So நாங்க டைரக்டா குழந்தை கிட்ட போய் பேச மாட்டோம். Since it's a screen and everything, குழந்தையாலையுமே வந்து புரியாது அவங்க என்ன சொல்ல வராங்கன்னு. அப்பா வந்து கமெண்ட்ஸ் சொன்னா டெஃபினட்டா அவங்களுக்கு புரியும் இல்லையா? So the parents will be there in the section. So we'll say ask him to put the green block over the red block. We'll see whether he's doing or not. The parent will give the comments. So இதெல்லாம் interact பண்ணி முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் observe பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா we will do a language tool assessment. So language tool assessment la again we'll have a bunch of questions, and also we'll make him do a bunch of things, and then we'll see where his language abilities fall now. So இப்போ 2.5-year-old ஆனா வந்து language வந்து 1.5 தான் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் we'll say okay, we'll have to start therapy. So இது goals நாங்க fix பண்ணுவோம். So இந்த goals ஏத்த மாதிரி நம்ம work பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. This is how it works.
Okay. So how long will be a therapy be? I mean, like for a child to develop. So the therapy
session is like 45 minutes per session. So we really can't say the duration of therapy depends upon the child's age and what's the child's language age is. So what is the period we have to bridge? We are going to bridge 2.5 years of gap. We are going to bridge 1.5 years of gap. We are going to bridge 6 months of gap. So it depends on the gap. So the language gap எவ்வளவு பெருசு இருக்கு. So it differs from every child. So ஒரு சைல்டுக்கு 4 years delay இருக்கும், ஒரு சைல்டுக்கு 1 year தான் delay இருக்கும். So அது கொஞ்சம் ஈஸியா நாங்க bridge பண்ணிடுவோம் இல்லையா? So it depends on the age of the child, language gap, and then definitely involvement of the parent, therapist, and child. So all the children we see, however severe the condition is, we see maximum thrice a week. That's all. So thrice a week 45-minute sessions will be there, but other times that we'll give home plans and everything. The mother and the father will have to do all those things at home. Then only we can see a true improvement. Only by attending 45 minutes of therapy, nothing will change. So all those strategies we are giving, they'll have to implement it at everyday home. So when I say strategies, it is all like language, what we are talking and how we are talking. It's not using fancy toys. It's not giving fancy activities. Not all that. So what we are talking, how we are stimulating the child to talk. That is all matters. We can have one simple, cooking toy which we are using at home. நம்மளோட ரெகுலர் குண்டா சட்டியே வச்சு நம்ம 10 ஆக்டிவிட்டி பண்ணலாம். So doesn't really require like fancy toys and everything. So அந்த strategies வந்து அவங்க ஃபாலோ பண்ணனும் வீட்ல. So இது இருந்தா டெஃபினட்டா நல்ல இம்ப்ரூவ்மென்ட் பார்க்கலாம்.
Okay, so they can directly contact you. I'm going to suggest you to all the parents who ask the doubts, and you told which are the alarming signs. Yeah. And I just had one last question that came up in my mind suddenly. I just finish up with that. So there's a child who looks at the lip movement of the person and answers.
Okay.
Can't hear properly.
Right.
But picks up the words from the lip movement.
Okay.
That's small words. But how do you identify this at a right age?
So this child will definitely have some kind of hearing impairment, right?
Yes.
So the hearing impairment.
We got to know that later. Yeah.
Okay, the hearing impairment must be treated. The child must be aided. Hearing aids போடுறது, or cochlear implant போடுறது, depending upon the severity of the hearing impairment. So there are different hearing losses. Mild loss, moderate loss. So mild loss வந்து ரெண்டு காதுலயும் இருக்கா, ஒரு காதுல தான் இருக்கா, இந்த மாதிரி டெஸ்டிங் நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கேத்த எய்ட் நம்ம போட்டுடணும். எய்ட் போட்டுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறமா நம்ம திருப்பி தெரப்பி கொடுக்கணும்.
Okay. So first they have to go and meet some other doctor for the ENT.
ENT கிட்ட போக கூட audiologist கிட்ட போகணும்.
Okay, audiologist.
So ENT will eventually refer to audiologist only. So audiologist is the person. So we are audiologist and speech language pathologist. So our degree is called BASLP, Bachelor's in Audiology and Speech Language Pathology. But at Andade we don't have an audiology setup. We only do speech therapy and occupational therapy. So because audiology will have equipments, and the child or the adult, we have to screen them and everything. We cannot do it over tele mostly. We must have the equipments and everything. So they'll have to go to an audiology clinic, and then they'll have to get the hearing test done. And according to their hearing loss, they have to fit the hearing aid. After they fit the hearing aid, they'll have to go to a oral AVT, we call auditory verbal therapy. So auditory verbal therapy la enna பண்ணுவோம்னா கேட்டு மட்டும் அந்த குழந்தை பேசணும், கேட்டு மட்டும் பதில் சொல்லணும், அந்த மாதிரி ட்ரெயின் பண்ணுவோம். பார்க்காம எப்படி வந்து அந்த குழந்தையால வந்து பேச முடியும். So that is called auditory verbal therapy. So ABT பண்றதுக்குனே தனியா வந்து டிப்ளமா இன் ஹியரிங் இம்பேர்மெண்ட் பண்ண ஸ்பெஷல் எஜுகேட்டர்ஸ் இருப்பாங்க. So அதுக்கு தனியா கோர்ஸ் இருக்கு. Or the audiologist itself will refer to the therapist. Audiologist will also be able to take therapy.
Okay.
Yeah. So hearing loss irundadna, this is the intervention plan. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. There were so many parents who had so many concerns regarding the speech. There are many moms who follow me who have infants, kittatata from 1 year to 3 year.
1 year.
That's why 1 year to 3 year. That's what the main concern was. I'll be referring you to all the people who have asked the questions, so that they can get direct. They can get a direct confirmation from you and consult you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi, for coming up.
Yeah, thank you so much for having this live. This was very thoughtful, and all the questions were
so much.
Actually very relevant and informative for everybody. I hope people find it informative as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you. Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi. Also, I hope Vaishnavi has answered all of your queries. I'll be saving this video in my IGTVs. Don't forget to watch this and share it along with your friends and family. So if they have any confusion regarding their child's speech, they can consult the right person at the right time. Okay, then see you. Ta-ta.